Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning, and I'm the master taster of Whisky.com. Here on my barrel, or my cask, is an Edradour single malt whiskey. Edradour, one of the smallest distillery in Scotland, and it called itself the smallest distillery in Scotland's smallest distillery. I know a few smaller distilleries, but they have no regular big output. So the title, the smallest distillery in Scotland, was right in former times. Today it is probably right. I don't know exactly. The Edradour distillery was owned by Pernod Ricard until 2003, and then they sold it to, yes, an independent bottler. This is a man or a company who buys casks from different distilleries and bottles them when he personally feels that they are finally matured. Because fewer and fewer casks are sold by the distilleries, because all the distilleries need their cask themselves, this independent bottler bought his own distillery, the Edradour Distillery, in Pitlochry, at the motorway into the Highlands, not far away from Stirling. Most of the whiskies you get from Edradour are quite young. 12 years, 14 years are the 14 years is seldom 12 years, because he bought the distillery quite late in 2003. So most of the whiskey is 10 to 11 years old. He produced himself, and the distillery was sold with quite a small inventory of casks, because the distillery was small. So this is a cask from 1993. It's a vintage cask. It's a single cask bottling, and it's 19 years old, and it was distilled on 20th December 1993 and was bottled on February 6th in 2013. It's cask number 87378, bottle number 59 of 303, aged 19 years. Handmade in Scotland's smallest distillery. As long as there's a mouse on the computer, the whiskey is handmade. No, sorry, joke. Edradour is a very small distillery, and most of the work is done by hand. So if the attribute handmade is right, then it's right for Edradour. There are more on the bottle. Yeah, on the back. Limited edition vintage 1993 Sauternes cask finish. So the whiskey was matured at first in hogsheads, refabricated American standard barrels, which were reused, so the flavors derived from the cask walls were quite low, and this weak whiskey got already rid of its strong, young, fresh aroma, so it was matured, but it didn't took out enough aromas from the cask, so they finished it in a Sauternes cask. And Sauternes is a white wine from the south of France, from Bordeaux, and this white wine is very, very sweet. The grapes are spread for evaporation of the water and increasing the sugar content, the relative sugar content in the grapes. And when the yeast work on the sugar to produce alcohol, they kill themselves at 15%, 14, 15, 16%. And then there is a residual sugar in the wine, which makes the Sauternes wine very, very sweet. And in those casks, and then the wine is filled into barriques, hogshead size, to mature, to derive aromas from the oak wood into the wine, to enhance the aroma of the wine. And then those casks were shipped to Scotland, and the whiskey was filled in from the old hogshead cask into the hogshead Sauterne cask and was able to tear out a lot of aromas from the walls of this Sauternes wine cask. Sauternes cask finish. This product takes the core qualities of Edradour spirit produced in 1993, filled into plain hogsheads and laid down to mature for more than 14 years, and then complements these by finishing in a fresh Sauternes hogshead for a further 51 months. The natural nuttiness of Edradour is enriched by the sweetness and spicy character of Sauternes to provide a harmony on the palate and a rich, long finish. To allow the discerning consumer the same enjoyment we have had in exploring how the complexity of this product pleasures the palate at full strength, and also differing levels of dilution, it has been bottled at cask strength. Natural color. That's it, natural color. I, for myself, do not consume whiskey with a higher ABV than 50%. High strength alcohol paralyzes your tasting buds in your mouth, and I want to have a feeling of the taste of the whiskey and not the alcohol. So typically I reduce every whiskey I taste below 50 ABV, and from time to time, quite seldom, I taste it with 50 or even a little bit above 50. So this 53.2%, I will dilute down to 49.9, perhaps, I don't know. There's always a little randomness in dilution. Very intense. There's a light alcoholic note on the top and a strong aroma from the Sauternes cask. Beside that is a light sweetness. It's a sweet wine. What should there be in it than a sweet wine? And perhaps there's this nuttiness. He tells on the back it's quite a sharp nuttiness. No, not sharp. An intense, spicy nuttiness, like walnuts. And a little toffee butterscotch from the cask. The wood sugars. The cask is treated with fire inside. The wood is cut into sugars, and those sugars caramelize, and this caramel brings the sweetness into the whiskey, beside the sweetness of the Sauternes. So you have this caramel butterscotch, toffee aroma, but it's quite low in the back. It's more spiciness from the wood. Oops. I got used to the alcohol, nosing longer and longer, and I forgot to dilute a little bit. Just 2 drops, not more. Yes, with water it opens up a little bit and brings this wine aroma, this fresh wine and sweet wine aroma in the front. There's still the spiciness in the back. A little citrus appears. This might be the distillery character of Edradour. Very strong and spicy. Ooh, mouth-watering, sweetness appearing. The wine notes are there. oakiness in the back. And after swallowing, a little bit of the butterscotch appears. Yeah. This long period in the Sauterne cask is smellable. Not visible, smellable. Intense and strong. 303 bottles for the complete world is not too much, are not too many. It will be difficult to find this bottle on the shelves, and be careful, close to $200, euros, pounds, whatever. It's expensive, and it's quite an expensive bottle for a 19-year-old. There are bottles costing half or a third with an age of 18 years. The specialty is the long finishing period in Sauterne cask, and the small Edradour distillery, and the rarity of those old casks from Edradour. This might be the oldest available bottle in the moment, spring 2014, of Edradour. Thank you for watching Whisky.com, and stay tuned, there's more to come.